Okay.
It's Friday.
7:18, and it's Friday night.
Friday night. What happens on Friday night?
Every Friday night, Northern Tributes. That's
There
what
you
I
go.
know. I'm Mark King.
I'm Gil Hicks.
I'm Marty Murray.
Marty Murray, our guest this week.
I can't believe the number of people that you've been able to bring into the studio here.
We've not even touched it.
Tell us about Diamond Mine.
Oh, I started that. It's just a Facebook group for music. I started it up about 8 years ago. Something like that. Just kind of something to do because I wanted to have a separate page that was just to do with music, and so people could post, videos of songs that they like, and I like. There's a lot of things that I like that you don't find normally on groups and stuff like that. So I wanted, and also some of the, I know a lot of local musicians, so I wanted to give them a chance to to showcase some of their stuff and things like that.
I've never put anything on there, have I?
No, you haven't.
Well, why not? We're gonna have to fix that.
I know where you can do a podcast.
Yeah.
Right here. I know where you can record too. Anyway, what are some of the things that you put out? Like some of the bands from around here, for instance, or?
Not lately. Because what's been going on, there hasn't been very much happening. But I've had some look like the Black Flies and in the past and stuff by them and Mike Lynch and I think I'm not sure if I put any Marty Allen's stuff up. I put Steve Goldberger's stuff up quite a bit and
He's got lots.
and I
got 3 CDs of his at
yeah,
home.
and I recorded. I like to take a camera when I go down to see him play in Niagara Lake, so I usually get some videos.
Oh, do it a lot.
And I put those up on there too. Yeah.
I mean, you assume that all your stuff is on there.
It's on my my YouTube channel.
Yes.
Well,
That's where I heard the songs.
Yeah, Ghost is up there, the whole album, and there's like I say, I recorded myself playing basically my first 2 sets in my living room, and so those are all up on there.
We might want to add that Marty's album was recorded in my basement.
Yeah.
My first primitive studio. I mean, you've been to my studio. It kind of looks like a studio.
Well,
It didn't look like a studio
No.
back then.
No.
It was really just a guy in his basement. I mean, I have piano and drums and stuff, and put Marty out.
talk about rock.
Put Marty out in the living room area, run the chords out there. But the only reason I worked, honest to God, man, your consistency was crazy.
Mhm.
I mean, people write in different ways. Like sometimes I'm writing as I'm doing, like spontaneity, blah, blah, blah. His preparation was like, how many, did we do 10 songs?
We did all the songs on it. I think
Is there 10?
13, 12 or 13. We did them all in one 7 hour.
5 of them,
7 hour session.
you recorded once.
7-hour session?
Mhm.
Yeah, I was saying like 5 of those songs were first take, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went,
Wow.
then I went back in and maybe a week or 2 later and did some harmony vocals and added a few little things here and there. I wanted Gil to put some bells on one song, so he did it on the keyboard and then the rest of it was all done at the Dean's place.
Dean Malton,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
came up here to help us.
Yep.
Yeah, that was his studio that he had above the sign place there by the highway.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've been up there. Yeah, Kent Street, sort of.
Yeah.
Speak, yeah.
Yeah, so you gave him all the stuff, so he had it all on his computer, and we did. I brought in Jay Reed to play lead guitar on a lot, and Rich Morton came in and played on some stuff, and we did some more harmony vocals, I think, and then Dean just mixed it all down. It came out great.
Oh, I loved meeting Dean Malton. I'll tell you. Every time Gil brings somebody here, it's like a kid in a candy store. So Dean came in and was helping us set up the first layout of sound and setting the snake into Cubase and stuff. And it was it was a pleasure meeting him. I knew his father, of course, with Walter Ostenek.
Right, yeah.
But it was a pleasure meeting him for sure, helping out here.
Oh, he
That was
knows
cool.
his stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, long lineage of musicians, you know, generations, you
The
know.
last time I was out at his place, the next day or the day before I was there, he had some of the guys from the Beach Boys in there recording.
Really?
On Kent
Wow.
Street, or where he is now?
No, up in Ridgeway.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Because he was working at the casino and the Beach Boys played and they wanted to do some demos. So
Wow.
I said, come out to my place and do them, so they did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. I
didn't know that.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. Like, you'd never know that from anything that he posted either, I don't think.
He didn't really say anything about it, but I knew about it because he said, yeah, well, I got the Beach Boys coming in today, tomorrow.
You mind if I bump you? Yeah.
No, I have an agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be something.
But CD did good for you? Like, I mean, not just financially, but I mean, it was highly acclaimed. I mean, if you don't mind me
No, it came out really
saying
good.
that in a like a, I don't know, I mean, I hope it was more than a local way, but I mean, I thought it was as good as anything locally in the vein that it was in.
Yeah.
I mean, I listened to it, honest to God, when I was learning the songs today, Ghost, that was teary-eyed. Really? I swear, I mean, I kind of feel funny even admitting that, but see, we were gonna do some songs together, but Marty, he showed up without his guitar today.
You showed up without a guitar.
Yeah, well, I had to work.
I have the
I
chorus
just barely got
the
home
song
in time
right
to
here.
come here. I just finished, I didn't get home from work. till
Well, see,
5:30.
now we have a reason to have him back.
That's right.
Now he has no choice but to come back, because he came without a guitar. I mean, actually, I hope you do come back. We're doing some pretty good things here, and the Lions gave us some opportunities up here for the community, and we got some up and comers that are playing, like Sam Cable. You remember Sam Cable?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, he's
everywhere.
He's a really When it comes to Chippewa, he's the man. No, like he's a good kid. He very smart, like good in school and everything. Played here with Second Heaven in a rehearsal, and we ended up. He came in when we were practicing our Cubase when we first were recording. Remember? And he came in and we had the camera practice going on and stuff. Like all these people trying to practice with all our new toys, and he came in and did a couple singles, and Ain't No Sunshine was one of them, and did a really good job. So, yeah, it's, they're gonna come in and play with the guys like Gil and hopefully yourself.
Yeah, I'm started just getting back into it because I was off for 5.5 months, didn't play at all. My guitar just sat in the living room.
That's what Chris said that too. See, I done more practicing.
Yeah, I never touch my guitar usually unless I'm playing a gig. Or if I'm gonna write a song. That's about the only times I really touch the thing. And then I'll get it out. But most of the time, I'm working all the time. I really feel like playing the guitar when I get home from work. But
See, I'm always chasing some things that aren't what I'm playing in bands, so,
yeah.
whether that be original music or some kind of, jazz finger style thing or something, something that takes you a month to learn the song.
Yeah, I took the guitar out and I said, well, they call me back to play. I said, okay, I better make sure the guitar's okay. So I took it out, tuned it up. It wasn't that bad of a tune, but I tuned it up and the bottom end. So I thought, well, it was Tuesday, I gotta play Saturday. Call Freddie Gapersack. Freddie, can you fix my guitar by Saturday?
Yeah.
I said, I think it just needs a neck adjustment or whatever. And he said, oh yeah, no problem, I brought it down. I get it done. Get it done the next day.
You have pull with him because he's usually has your guitar for a while.
Yeah, no, it was just a simple.
But I mean, if you had said, I gotta play Saturday.
It wasn't much of a thing. He just had to do do a few adjustments on it, that's all.
I mentioned that you used to do reviews for Pulse magazine too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you may not remember Pulse. I don't think of
Oh,
that as that long ago. You
No,
remember
it
Pulse?
isn't really, of
Like
course.
in the 80s.
Yeah, 80s.
I was alive in the
80s,
80s.
Okay.
About halfway through the 90s we went. And then, it was for about 10 years. When I started there, I was just a graphic artist. And then it ended up.
Just a graphic.
Yeah, and then it ended up that Jennifer needed somebody to do music reviews. So she asked me, and I'm sure. So
I still keep it pretty good.
so I handed her a bunch of, if you like these, so she, yeah, those are good, keep going. So I started getting all the stuff from the record companies, and every week you get a box of cassettes and
Nice.
all
That's
the-
a way to get.
all the promotional materials, and you can read about, you didn't know about these bands, you can read all about them and everything
And
else.
would these be mostly Canadian or
No.
could be anything?
No,
Could be American.
American, Canadian, British,
Nice.
yeah, like all kinds of music, and some really good stuff that I would have known about. Like Alligator Records, it's a blues label from Chicago.
Okay.
They signed all the big names who work for that label. I got like a double cassette thing. Later on, I bought it on CD because I liked it so much. I went out and bought the CD.
Okay.
It was like a 25th anniversary Alligator Records, something like that. Went out and bought that.
I've heard of Alligator Records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of Toronto bands and stuff. It's like Toxic and oh man, who else did I get? Lots. There was local guys too, like Svengali and all of those.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Brighton Rock,
I'm in awe like every other week, so just go right ahead here. I just like, it's just really cool to be able to talk, especially Niagara, about Canadian history of music.
Oh yeah.
But Niagara especially, I mean, I grew up in, I guess if you call it that, in the 80s, because I mean, that was my high school turn, So I grew up in the 80s, and Brighton Rock and Honeymoon Suite and stuff were big, and it's been a good place for music, really, like all the way
54.
around.
Thorough, then that was a big rock club.
It was. I
I was there a
remember.
million times.
I never got to catch you, I guess, but I actually seen Edgar Winter there, and he was.
Johnny Winter. Did
No.
Edgar Winter play there also?
I'm gonna say Edgar Winter.
Okay, because I seen Johnny Winter.
Oh no,
There.
it was Edgar.
Okay.
Edgar. He was playing his Frankensteiner days,
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh, there you go.
that was. But I mean, it was just amazing watching him move from instruments to instrument.
Uh-huh.
He literally did that, and the band would literally get up and switch instruments, and everybody would sit down again, and it was like, wow,
I saw them. He opened up for this was when the Superfest that they used to have in Buffalo, the big outdoor at the Rich Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
And I went to one of those with my friends, and it was Peter Frampton,
Nice.
right when Frampton Comes Alive was out, right? And the opening acts
Big
were
deal, man.
Johnny and Edgar Winter. They did a tour together.
that's quite an opening.
And before then it was Todd Rundgren's Utopia. It was a good show.
Boy.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot of power.
I like that, man.
That's a lot of power.
And I saw Johnny Winter at the Down Under in St. Catharines.
See, I had to think, because I think I seen Johnny, when you said
In the
Edgar
early
and Johnny, I was thinking,
I seen Johnny Winter at Front 54.
okay, well,
About 93.
I think I seen him at the Down Under, and that's why I was, when you first said it, I'm thinking, no, I'm pretty sure it was Edgar, but I remember seeing Johnny Winter once, but I don't remember all of it. I was a little younger then.
There was a lot of good shows back in those days. Used to see a lot of pretty big acts.
Yeah, it's in those kind of clubs.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, Front 54. I'm trying to remember. Frozen Ghost. I saw
Yeah, I seen Frozen Ghost.
what was the guy that did Aldo Nova?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Saw him there.
I didn't see him there, but I remember that.
Brighton Rock. I saw there. And I'm trying to think of some.
I seen David Wilcox there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen him a lot of times over.
I-
I used to get for pub nights
Uncle
when I was in
Sam's.
college.
He's
Well, I mean,
saying a lot.
he's common around here, of course, being from Welland. I mean, all of us have seen him, but I mean,
He was
I remember-
really big in this area,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, he was, to me, because obviously he's older than I am, so I was looking up to that sort of music when I was going to Thorold High or Thorold Secondary. And I remember seeing him at Front 54, and it was like, wow, you know, and then everybody's going, it's just David. You know, and I'm looking at it, I go, what do you mean it's just David, you know? But my sister was friends with the Dedevitis that owned Front 54. Or I guess they still own it, but it's not called Front 54 anymore. But
Moose and Goose.
yeah, so, you know, but I think he was big to me because he was the university college guy,
Yeah.
right? He played in Welland at the college and Brock, and he played, you know, and I think that all the kids, like, that's why he was so big here, I think.
I played probably,
We had him,
played all those songs.
when I was in Sheridan, we had him for at least 2 pub nights,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah,
I got some really good
He
pictures
must
of
have
those
done
pub
well,
nights.
money-wise, jeez.
Yeah, he's fun. I didn't know they had to lead him out on stage, right? And he'd come out. I guess he's almost blind,
Yeah.
and they bring him out on stage, and he'd have his hand on the guy's shoulder. They get him out to in front of the microphone, and then hand him his guitar, and he would just. It's like somebody turned a switch on. Boom!
There you
And
go.
there he is. There's Wilcox. Boom! And energy. Kabang! And after that, it was like nonstop till the end of the show.
I never knew any of that.
Oh, he's a strange guy too. Very eccentric.
Well, you guys all played that.
I've never met him personally, but he's one of the most eccentric people I've ever seen. The faces that he makes when he's playing, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, he was very animated. When I seen him, you know, he was animated.
Oh, jeez.
I hear I wanted to mention about your problem with your guitars getting stolen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You had your guitar stolen?
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah, I was playing 2 nights at the Cairncroft. And I think the problem with that one was that I played the first night. It was supposed to be like kind of an early evening. Like it was supposed to start like 4 in the afternoon and play till like 7 or something like that. So I get there, set all my stuff up out in the patio. The manager comes up and says to me, oh, would you mind if you started maybe a bit later, like maybe like 6 o'clock? I said, oh, okay. So I had all my stuff set up, so I took my guitar and some other things and I covered it all up. And I thought, well, I'm not taking it all back down.
Right.
So I went and I came back and I played my thing. But in that meantime, people had been out there having a smoke and this and that, and they were checking out all the stuff that was out there. So I finished playing that night and packed up all my stuff, put it in the van, went home.
And you live.
And it was still an early night. I was finished by 9 o'clock or something like that. So I thought, okay. I was planning on going out somewhere to see a band or something. So I left. So I came in the house and I had something to eat, and I fell asleep. I wake up. It's like I don't know what time it was. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't see my van. It was in the driveway, but it was dark out there. I couldn't see it. It was 3 apartments in this building that I lived in. I was in the basement one. Franklin.
Franklin, I guess you can't, but Franklin,
Franklin Street.
Yeah.
So then the next morning I wake up and look outside and my van's gone. Right?
Not just the guitar then.
Everything.
Oh, I didn't know.
Okay.
Everything. It was locked up and everything. And it was a professional, whoever did it knew what they were doing. It was a professionally done job. So finally the thing turns up. Guess where it turns up? Parked out right behind the Cairncroft.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and I still got the screwdriver. They used the screwdriver to get
To
in,
do the key thing?
to get into. They punched a hole through the door
Oh.
and lifted the thing up, and they used the screwdriver to put in where the key goes in
Ignition.
and to start it, and it was still in there. And the cop says to me, "Is that your screwdriver?" I said, "No, not mine."
As a lover of the arts, I gotta ask, was there more equipment in the van?
Oh,
I know the van's important, but I wanna know about the equipment.
Everything. The only thing they didn't
Wow.
take was my mic stand, music stand, and my book. guitar was gone. Normally I bring the guitar in the house, but I didn't because I just didn't do it that night because I thought I was gonna be going back out, so I just left it there. And, but yeah, my old Ovation guitar
Yeah.
that I used to record Ghosts, that got taken, and my board and my speakers and everything. Yeah, yeah. And then just recently, where I live now, I mean, there's hardly any break-ins. It's in the north end of the city. It's a nice area.
Nice area.
And, but there was a bunch of kids renting an apartment in the house just a little bit up from me. And they were causing some trouble in the neighborhood. They smashed up my neighbor's, one of my neighbor's friend's cars one night. And never got in trouble for it. Then the one neighbor saw them doing it, but he wouldn't give a statement to the police, so I don't want to get involved in that. So,
Wow.
because he was living
Well,
right next door.
it's a tough call, I guess.
And so then,
So they broke into the van again?
they tried to get into it, somebody tried to break into it a couple times. And I got my back window smashed out twice. But nothing was taken. And the first time the thing was unlocked, I thought, why'd they smash the back window for?
Right, yeah.
But the guitar wasn't in there or anything. I have some equipment in there, but it's covered up. You can't really see it, you know. And so this time I came home from work, and I had the guitar in the van, and it was in the afternoon. And I had to play a gig that night. I forget why the guitar was in there. I didn't take it out the night before or something like that. And I just left it in there. And I came home from work, and no, I didn't have to play a gig that night. So I just left it in there, and I thought, oh man, I better go bring the guitar in the house. And it was only like 10 o'clock at night. It's in the summertime. Guess what? Thing's gone. Actually, it was in the spring. It was like April or something.
Yes, I've never had
Did you
that.
kick anybody out of your band recently?
No.
Did somebody apply that didn't get in?
I think these kids, I mean, they're causing trouble, and then shortly after that, they got kicked out of that house, and that was the end of that. There hasn't been any trouble on my street since then. That was 2 years ago. So I went to Murphy's and bought a Fender Villager 12-string, and then I got a line on another one from Rob Trelford. He says, this guy up in Grimsby's got a nice Fender 12-string for sale. I said, oh yeah. So I went up and had a look at it. Yeah, I like that one. $300 here.
Good. Hey, that's a good
The
deal.
guitar's worth like $700, $800,
Yeah.
you know. So, and I love that guitar.
Good.
The first one's really nice. It's the newer one, and it's got a really small neck on it, almost like a Stratocaster for a 12-string.
Yeah, that's already
It's
come by.
it's a really small neck on it, but it doesn't, you can't bang on it. If you try to play too hard on the thing, it just doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
So I don't really use that one. It's nice for playing softer stuff on it. But so this is an older Fender Villager. It's a big guitar, and it's got a big sound to it. It's like playing a Gibson 12-string or something like that. It's got that big sound. I love the sound of it. Fishman's got Fishman electronics.
Okay.
It sounds great.
Wow. I just keep saying wow, because I don't know, you keep dropping names of people I've heard of, but never met, and I mean, you know, 12 strings already 6 more than I can't play. And, you know, so I just, I got asked though, being from this area, and I see you wearing Rush, did you know Neil? And
I never met any of the guys personally, but I knew Neil's first wife, Jackie, she used to work at Sam the Record Man on Queen Street.
that's going, that's going
And
back.
her brothers ran it, Steve and Keith.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know
They
there was a
ran it.
relationship
That was
there.
that was their franchise, and she worked in there. And I used to go in there all the time, and I'd be talking. She used to work like on a Saturday afternoon or so. I'd go in and start talking. She was a really nice lady. I didn't even know she was Neil's girlfriend at the time. I found that out later. And then they asked me. I made a couple of T-shirts for Neil. Like I hand painted them on a shirt. So I did Fly By Night. And I got a picture of him wearing that at the Juno Awards.
Ah,
It's on a magazine cover. It's a black and white picture, but he's wearing my shirt. And I did him 2112, and I did another one too. I think I did 3 altogether for him. The other one wasn't Rush, it was some other band. Painted, I think the other one was Nectar or one of these.
And you still never met him?
No,
Oh, wow.
no, I never met him. No.
That's a lot of work for one guy that you never met.
I know lots of people that have met him.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch.
And guys that
I
played.
say Catherine's buddies, like,
Yeah.
all played with them and
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't move here till he was already famous.
He was
so-
in that band, The Majority.
Okay,
They were a pretty big bar band.
Not when I don't.
Way
See,
back.
that's a little
70s,
before, yeah, I was gonna say, cause I was born in 1970, so you gotta cut me some slack on that one. They were already big by the time I realized who they were.
They opened up for, the first concert I ever went to was Edward Bear
oh yeah,
at the Memorial Arena here in the Falls.
Yeah.
And opening act for them was Majority for Edward Bear. Yeah.
who else was in the band, do you know?
Oh, I didn't know any of the guys. I used to see the van driving around my high school all the time. They had a really nice van with the name written in big letters on the side with all like American Stars and Stripes and the Majority.
Now, were they a St. Catherine's band or
Yeah.
a Niagara Falls band?
Yeah, I think the guy must have lived near the school because I saw the van there all the
Right.
time.
And you went at Ben F, obviously.
Yeah, I went to NFCBI, yeah.
Actually, Martin knew my wife.
Yeah.
Oh,
Way back,
yeah.
She was in with the group of all the people from Silvertown
Yeah.
that we used to hang out with and all that back then, yeah.
I only know the Canadian Corps down there.
Yeah.
And the Cocos.
Uh-huh.
That's all you, what else is there?
I didn't know, I was gonna say, what else would you want?
I guess.
What else would you want?
Yeah.
But,
Well, those are the two main things, yeah.
yeah, being a vet supporter, I used to go down there and we would run music shows and karaoke days and stuff. And
I was in there a couple of times when it was with Kathy,
Like down,
yeah, we went in with her mom and,
oh, and the bomb shelter they call it.
yeah, we went.
That was before my time.
that's how I know. It's not like that anymore?
No, it's, wow, no, it's, they're on Ferguson, just around the corner from the Cocos. And I was a member there for a few years. I let it lapse this year, I guess partly because of COVID, but I haven't been anywhere really, but but I was a member there and they do pretty good stuff there.
Yeah, they used to have country bands in there all the time.
I
Oh, yeah.
don't know people
Yeah.
played there, I missed that.
Well, that's where I got the stuff to start here. Remember I was telling you Irv?
Merv.
No M.
Oh.
But Irv, they ran classic country open mic on Sundays there. And when they disbanded or whatever and they retired, I bought his set
Okay.
of all of his band equipment, and some of it's still here. Like the old customs in the back corner we used for mongoose and stuff for the drummer, like that was all from Irv. So that's a little connection there, I guess, but that's been a long time too.
Yeah.
So, no, I love Niagara music, and the names and the locations and venues and stuff you're talking about are all stuff that I grew up.
We were talking one time about, there was like a dozen places in downtown Niagara Falls. I mean, the Eddie and the Nelson and the Royal and the Empire and the Calverley, like the Elliott, played all those places. How can you play a dozen places just in downtown,
Yeah.
I mean, you've probably done all those places too.
Well, I played at the Calverley a couple times later on. But that was my hangout
Yeah,
back in the old days
yeah.
before I started to play in bars.
Max Webster there.
Oh, they had Helix, they had all the big acts and things and great bands. And they used to get bands from Detroit, which none of the other bars got. And some of those bands were good. And then, yeah, between there and the
Pat Travis. He played there. I never seen him.
I never saw him.
Whoa.
He was his band was called Red Hot.
You're right, it was called Red Hot.
But I never saw it. When I was old enough to drink, he had just left to go on his own. So they had this guy named Derek that replaced him. That guy was amazing. He was fantastic.
Pat Travers used to use a Hankstrom Swede. And nobody used a Hankstrom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've seen him play a few times over the years. And,
He's still going.
yeah, oh yeah. Between there and Uncle Sam's
Uncle Sam's,
and the
yeah.
Sundowners, they had all the big acts. You know, Rush played at the Sundown. They got fired on Wednesday night.
Is that right?
Yeah.
We're drawing?
You heard it here.
Drawing?
No, they were too loud. They
Oh.
Oh, now that I can believe.
How could you be, how could you be too loud in there?
The owner kept telling them to turn it down, and they wouldn't, so they got fired.
Yeah, I'm sure they lost a lot of sleep over that over the years.
Yeah, Max Rush, we used to go see Max Rush, Saga,
Sorry, yeah,
Triumph, like Gatto, all the really good bands.
Wow, that's a lot of power right there. That's a lot of Canadian power.
Toronto, they were Rose, and then they became Toronto.
Yeah, I remember
I
Toronto,
used to
yeah.
see most of the time, that was Uncle Sam's.
Mhm.
Sundown had good bands. They used to get a lot of Toronto bands, so they'd get like
Well,
Mornington
I played
Mornington
Sundown,
Drive
but, you know.
and bands like that didn't usually play down here that much. But yeah,
Who is that? Who does High School Confidential?
well that's
Trade.
Rough Trade.
Rough Trade. Yeah,
Carol Pope.
Carol Pope. I saw her at the Aqueduct in Welland.
Oh, yeah.
She was good.
Yeah.
She was really good.
I always liked that song.
Yeah, and I saw Rough Trade when they're just starting out. They opened up for Roxy Music at Massey Hall.
Wow.
They just had their first.
That's a lot more big names.
They just have put out their first album. I've got it. It's a direct to disc, limited
Oh, yeah.
numbered thing. I've got it.
Oh.
It's got Birds of a Feather flock
Are
together.
you a vinyl guy to this day?
I just started to get, well, I've got like all my old albums. I never got rid of any of them. But
I just gave away a bunch.
But I bought a new turntable, and there's a bunch of stuff on there I want to.
Now, I've always had a functioning turntable, and I just faced the fact that I wasn't gonna become a vinyl guy, you know. This has gone on, you know, it's been creeping back in for what, last 15 years or something?
Yeah.
And I just called Navaroli and said, I knew that he was into that thing, and I just, come on, you could have these guys.
Yeah.
I had a nice guitar player, you know, Beck and Rittenauer and you know, all the 70s fusion guys.
Yeah. The thing I tend to do though is I get the album and I record it onto a CD, right?
And then.
And the audiophile guy said, well, what's the point of doing that? I said, well, so I can play it in the car. So I can't bring.
Can't bring a record.
Yeah,
No,
well, see, that
that's
makes
pretty much-
sense to me.
And that's pretty much where I listen to music. Most of these is when I'm driving.
Right.
So that's, you know.
Another guy who's got quite a collection of vinyl is our buddy Mike Ridley from 91.7.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Oh, I imagine.
the engineer for 91.7 is helping us with the studio here, and we got gifted, my wife and I got gifted a bunch of records from a friend that was moving out of town, and they said with the studio stuff, just take them up for like, you know, just nostalgia, like put a few of the Canadian albums around. So when Mike was here, he was telling me he's got like 15 cases of
Milk crates?
no cases. I thought he meant milk crates. I said, well, that's not a lie. He said, no, I don't mean it.
No, I shouldn't say milk. What are the, that's what we have, as in the wooden thing that's about this.
I
This
haven't,
Oranges, he's put oranges in it or
yeah.
something?
he's got,
An album fits right in there.
Oh yeah.
he's got thousands.
Yeah.
He was telling me, like, he's got thousands, he's got like everyone from all these different people, and he's looking for the last ones, you know?
Oh, yeah, see,
That's what he's doing, is he's looking around now, trying to get the last piece to the puzzles all the time, you know?
I got about 1,500.
Yeah, that's a good chunk.
I stopped buying them, and then I really like Scott Merritt. I don't know if you ever heard of Scott Murray. He's originally from Brantford, he lives in Guelph now, he's got a studio there, so, oh, he's amazing. He's one of Canada's greatest musicians that nobody knows about. One of my top favorite albums is, one of his records is called Violet and Black. It's a masterpiece.
And that's something he did of his own stuff?
Yeah, it's all his own
in
music.
his studio.
Yeah, so he did an album about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. He put out a new album. It's kind of weird. He played it all on
You're gonna have to let me hear that. I would love to hear, I mean, especially when you say it's one of the best unknown artists or underrated artists, and I'd like to hear it, 'cause
and he put out this new one, and he played the whole album on it's some kind of a ukulele, but it's like a baritone ukulele or some kind of a thing. It sounds beautiful, but it's different. And he played the whole album on this thing. And he's kind of an eccentric guy.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, that might be too weird for.
So I bought when he put it up for sale, it was, you could buy different things, like different sets of this and that, and mix and match. And so I bought he had one where you got the CD and then you got the vinyl album. So I thought, okay, I'll get that. Right, and the vinyl albums are really good quality. I mean, they're thick. They're like that. They're like 2 or 3 times thicker than the ones we used to have. Yeah, and they sound great. You put it on, there's no noise. You know, it's amazing.
it's funny how they couldn't perfect that before.
Well, they were putting them out so many. It would have been too expensive. But even now they're expensive.
Oh, yeah.
They're like $30 each.
Anyway.
Like like back then you bought now $5, $7. Pretty much. Columbia Record Club.
First roll.
That's how I got my first set of cassettes. Columbia.
Oh, did they do that with cassettes?
Yeah, CDs and cassettes, I think it was. I can't remember. I was mail ordering everything everywhere at the back of every magazine for CDs and cassettes when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, that was a good way to get a bunch of stuff all at once.
Yes. Yeah, we all done it. Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, I quit. I had the records coming. When they had records, and then later on when they had the CDs, I went and I signed up again and got CDs from them from Columbia House. I think I had 2. I had Columbia House and I had BMG Records, I think.
Oh, you probably got 1,500 CDs too.
I got a lot.
Yeah.
There's lots of them. Yeah, I'm trying to get them organized.
I used to get all the K-Tel ones too.
Oh, those things.
All the corny, all the K-Tel stuff.
25 explosive rockets.
Yeah, I used to hear that all night long, you know. I was brainwashed on they were selling me stuff over the phone before I was old enough to get it.
And you get like, it'd be like Andy Kim and the Franco family and stuff.
I'm trying to think kids albums.
It was, I got that Convoy and stuff like
Oh, yeah.
C.W. McCall. And,
Jeez, I forgot about that.
Way back, K-Tel and all the oh yeah, it was
CB radio, that was a big thing for a while.
Yeah.
Hard to believe now.
I think they just find something and they like run with it and sell people on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's probably many people said
It was
after a while,
a
like,
trucker thing, but then people started doing it like just for
Yeah.
hobby.
yeah, I don't need this.
It
Why didn't I know that?
was kind of like the first social media, I guess, kind of CB radio, because you talk to your buddies in your car.
well, I mean, Burt Reynolds made it huge.
Yeah.
You know, the Bandit there. The
Okay,
whole-
that's right.
You know what I mean? And then Convoy was out, and what's the other one that was out? Another truck movie. Can't remember the name of it now. But there was like 2 or 3 of them really quick. I remember them as a kid. I used to be right into watching them.
Yes, man, Smokey and the Bandit and all that. Yes.
Yeah, that's been a long time. My kids would go,
Burt Reynolds
who?
in.
You know?
So I was gonna ask Martin about, so when you started playing guitar,
Uh-huh.
did you have a friend that says, you know, let's learn to play guitar, or do you have an older brother, or, you know, that kind of thing, like?
No, my sister had a guitar set that she
It's just-
bought.
Okay,
She bought a guitar, it was a classical guitar, Spanish guitar, whatever you call it.
yeah, nice.
So it was sitting there and she never learned how to play the thing. So, I don't know, it was sitting around like for years and I thought, when I got into my about 14, 15
Uh-huh.
years old, I started to get interested. I was starting to listen to music. I started to get interested. I was going to learn how to play bass first. I wanted to be a bass player. And then my sister says to me, yeah, but if you play the bass, you have to have a band. Like if you play the guitar, you can do songs by yourself.
Good point.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. So I learned some stuff on her guitar. I got music books that showed you the chord diagrams and all that stuff. And so I, started learning like a lot of Gordon Lightfoot songs and stuff, folky stuff. So I started learning that, and then that guitar wasn't really very good. So I asked my mom if I could have something better. So she bought me a nice 6-string acoustic.
What was it?
I can't remember. It was kind of like it was a little bit of a copy of a Gibson J35, the one with the pickguard with the flowers on it.
Oh, yeah.
It was like that, but we got it at like Woco or something like that.
Okay.
So I saw it there a few times.
But it was playable.
Oh, it was nice.
Woco.
Yeah.
There's a name I have.
It was a pretty nice guitar, and I learned like stuff on that. Then I wanted to get 12-string because I like 12. So she ordered that from. I got that for Christmas. Ordered that from Sears, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a Marlin.
Martin. Yeah, I remember that.
That was a good guitar.
Another big music name.
It was a good guitar.
I had Sears stuff. I
I
had
guess that would have been
Silvertone,
the way back then, I guess.
and I had a Harmony.
Yeah.
Harmony guitar.
Yes, I got some Gordon Lightfoot books, and I knew all the music because that's my sister listened to around the house all the time, and I knew all the songs. So I learned how to play it. There's, nothing too complicated really most of the time. And there's the chord diagram. Train your hands to do it after a while.
Yeah.
And I was always good at rhythm. I never had any problems with strumming or keeping a rhythm or anything like that. And your voice develops over time. I didn't know if I could sing or not. My dad was a good singer. My mom actually could sing really well too. But I didn't know if I could sing or not. The only singing I did was in the choir in grade 6, So I started doing that and just got more and more. I bought more music books, Cat Stevens and Elton John and all these different.
And how old were you when you first started playing gigs?
I was 1979. I was 22 or 23. Then I got hired. I was getting ready to go start. I've been to see other guys doing it.
Yeah.
I can do this. I'm better than some of these guys actually.
Yeah, good.
And so I went down to the Jolly Brewer and talked to the owner down there, right? And he was interested in booking me. And so I said, well, I'll be ready in about a month or so, right? Calls me like a week later.
Oh, that's always the way, isn't it?
Can you play this weekend? I guess I could. So I had to go. I didn't have any PA or anything. I had to go rent a PA. Went to Joe Modio's place and rented a small PA system and microphones and everything else. And
You see how Bridge Street at that time?
on Wayne Street,
Okay.
yeah. But he was kind of almost next door to the Sam the Record Man at the time, I think. He was really close to it, near the Elliott.
Yeah.
He was next to the Elliott, and
That's right.
and Sam's was up on the next block, just like.
Well, he had a store on Bridge Street before that.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. I know.
Like Bridge and 4th.
Oh yeah, and then he moved the store down to Valleyway.
Yeah.
That was like a bigger store. Yeah. Oh, I was in there all the time. So like hanging out and talking to all the guys,
You
trying all the
get
different
credit.
guitars and.
He would give you credit. I mean,
Yeah.
we probably owed him thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, we always paid him,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I had stuff on.
it's just a different kind.
I was gonna say, you can't get $10 now.
No. No, can you imagine going into a store,
Yeah.
Joe was nice.
like giving a guy like 10% and I'll come in monthly, But we would, we'd be on the road and we'd send checks in the mail, So, same way with all music, you establish your credit and.
Joe was a really nice guy too.
Yeah.
And he had his own band. I still go see his band play. He had John Locke on the guitar. John was a good guitar player.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know what he's doing nowadays.
He passed away.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. He was a great guitar.
That's been a while ago.
Wow, I didn't know.
I don't know why, but I
He was living in Chippewa, wasn't he?
no, he lived on Ash Street.
Okay. Okay,
and he worked for the Parks Commission.
okay.
He worked at Oaks Mansion up
Oh, yeah,
in
okay,
there.
okay. I haven't seen him for years, I didn't know about that.
There's such a rich talent around here. Like when you start listening to you guys talk about it,
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I've heard of that guy, I've heard of that guy, I've heard of that guy, I've heard of that. You know, it's see, like I said, for me it was, let's see, honeymoon suite would have been what, 84?
Yeah,
84, 82 to 86, they were like everything here, big in the bars, and then all of a sudden they're everywhere. What was that, 97.7 or Q107, they won Rock Search or something?
Yeah, Q107.
Q107,
Yeah,
okay.
they got their big, new girl now.
Yeah.
But they changed, the version that's on there, the lyrics are slightly different. So they sing Cold Winter's Night, Snow Clouds in the Air, and when they got signed to the record deal, they made them re-record it to Hot Summer Night, Storm Clouds in the Air. Yeah, yeah, they made them change it so it wasn't so Canadian.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Who did, but,
I was gonna say, I love that tune, but I didn't know the original part of it, I only knew.
I got the records, I got that album, the Q107 album. I got a bunch of those, the Q107 albums.
I remember them as a kid too. You know, and all the charts and stuff like that. I mean, you guys were probably on them, of course, but
No,
actually,
I never got
it's funny. I probably seen you when I was a kid on BT, breakfast television, because I used to watch it religiously for quite some time. I just wouldn't have known when you were on with Vertigo, I guess.
I've seen that, where you guys went up there to Toronto, played really early in the morning.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
that was only in the early 2000s, that wasn't that long.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
Breakfast television.
I figured everything else was when I was a kid. I thought that might have been too.
But, you know, I used to have a house job in Thorold. It's the breakfast place at the top of the hill now. You know, you come up out of
Yeah, it used to be
Crossroads.
Yeah, it was Crossroads.
Yeah, we played there
It was Lorenzi's
like
before
5 nights a week there for a while.
that. Downstairs or up?
Yeah, downstairs.
Yeah.
Huh.
I had a stag and go there once.
Boy, yeah. I don't know who owned that place, but they always pay us. There was, I mean, maybe like on a Friday, Saturday it was okay, but we played like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and there really wasn't anybody there.
I always heard that basically they just loved doing it and they had the motels rooms that paid for the
that's
rest,
the only,
right?
anybody who was there lived.
Yeah.
There was, those people were down and outers,
Okay.
alcoholics, prostitutes,
Yeah, that'd be kind
et cetera. And they would frequent the bar. Like on Wednesday night, that would be, there was a guy that always wore a sombrero. Like, I can't say why.
in Thorold.
Yeah, so he had millions of scratch tickets.
Mhm.
And like, he would drink beer and scratch these tickets. And if he won something, he'd jump up and like, dance around with the sombrero and stuff. It was
More
the best.
entertainment than the band.
Oh, they for us, yeah.
That'd be good. I don't, obviously I was a little young to be frequenting those places.
Well, I thought though that.
Well, Lorenzi's is where
You would have been old enough to go in there. It's not a place to go.
I guess that's why I never.
If I'm a young single guy in my 20s, I wouldn't go there, but you could.
I guess, my stepmother Arlene, actually worked at Mama Lorenzi's or Lorenzi's, I think she ran the kitchen when I was young. So that's where she worked. We lived on Chapel Street in Thorold. My parents still have that house. They moved out and back in, but they owned it and rented it out for a while and then lived here in the Falls. Sorry to all our Chippewa people, the part next to us in the Falls. The Chippewas village on its own.
Yeah.
Well,
It is.
this play, we played downstairs, they actually had a country band upstairs. That's Charlie Simon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the late Charlie Simon,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Oh, he was fantastic.
he was beautiful.
When he was in his prime, he was the best singer, country singer.
You know
in
what,
town.
I heard him in the last year, and he still sang like that.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, really good.
A good guitar player.
Yeah,
He's really good.
and you know, I know he said his, you know, you hear country singers and it's pretentious and it's put on or stuff. That's the way he sounded.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Actually,
it was authentic. You know?
yeah, it's funny because you mentioned how, singer and guitarist, I mean, he toured as a drummer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he was talented all the way around. I mean, he toured with what, Michelle Wright and,
I didn't know.
Stompin' Tom.
Oh.
So he was the tour drummer for Stompin' Tom.
He said part of his job was to take care of Stompin' Tom.
Yeah.
And that was,
Yeah.
I would say, and who took care of you?
I knew a guy that went on tour with Stompin' Tom as the lead guitar player for a tour, and he said the same
I
thing.
bet it's-
I had to keep an eye on Tom all the time, make sure he didn't get drunk.
Right.
Well, I don't think it's a matter of getting drunk, I think it's a matter of how.
Yeah, he said he
Like,
was okay
you
on
need
beer.
to function
It
in
was
that
okay
day.
to drink beer, and he said it was in their. The only thing they had in their contract rider, 12 cases of Budweiser, and they're backstage. They get to the gig. There's the cases of beer.
12 cases?
12 cases. He said by the end of the night. He says by the end of the night when we left, they'd all be gone.
That's like.
But one night somebody gave Tom a bottle of whiskey,
And
and he said he just totally he had to babysit him for that night, and he was just.
I never heard any of these stories from
Oh,
Charlie Simon, let me tell you.
And he said that the next day he went to the band. He said, "If I find out which one of you son of a bitches gave him that bottle of whiskey, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Just don't ever do that again."
No, I remember sitting at the Leaf and talking to Charlie Simon about the road and stuff like that, because I was getting ready to do this, and this is going back maybe 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, and I was actually there to meet Hawk, and well, it wasn't intentionally to meet Hawk, but the band, Shady Business. I had talked to him at an open mic there, and I
they
got,
were playing at the Leaf?
no, they were there for open mic.
Oh,
And the Waste Band, Paul
Yeah.
Wheeler and stuff, so they were doing their show, and Shady Business went in to do a couple songs, so I met them, and then they come in to meet me later at another time, and I was talking with Charlie Simon, and Hawk come up, and Charlie's talking about the road like it was yesterday. You know what I mean? And I just, the whole thing about Stompin' Tom and about being up north, and didn't matter where we went, everybody was the same. And like it was, he just told me all these stories, but I never heard any of those ones. He did tell me about how he had a hard time coming up the stairs a few times, but good man though.
He said most of the
Charlie.
time it was great. He was a really good rock player, and so he was just doing this. They offered him the job, and they were paying him good money, so he went and did it. He said, "Well, what the heck? I'm not doing anything else." So he went and did it. And after the tour finished, Tom asked him to do the next one, and he said, "No, I don't want to do that another time." He said, "Once was enough." He said, "That's okay."
I lived it down.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I'd take Stompin' Tom's career though.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a Canadian icon,
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm a hockey fan, so I remember that song for
The
sure.
hockey song.
I've in Sudbury Saturday Night.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Those were the only two I really ever.
And I knew some people from Sudbury, and that song is exactly true.
So where do you see yourself in the near future? Do you have any gigs coming up? Do you have anything you're doing that you know?
I do a steady, in season, I do a steady 3 nights at Coco's at Holiday Inn there on Murray Hill.
Right?
So I'm doing like Saturday, Monday, Wednesday there.
20 years.
Yeah, more than that. I think about 27 now.
That's
Wow.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, they don't stay in Vegas that long.
No.
That's, you know.
I thought I did good. I had 7 years at Copa. You know?
Yeah.
Well, there was we rotate. So there's me and there's a Chico. I won't say his real name. There's another Chico that plays too with his
Yeah.
wife, but this is
I know it's
this is a
not
different Chico.
Yeah.
And then Rick Rose, that was his gig.
Yes, well, it still is.
But as Rick got more into his school and doing all the other things that he does, he quit playing less and less and less, and ended up just being me and Chico doing pretty much all the time. Rick would maybe do once a show.
There's 2 shifts a day?
On a weekend, I'll have somebody on the afternoon, Saturday, Sunday afternoon, yeah. I would do those I was doing them for a while, but I don't do those anymore, because I gotta work. So,
I love the afternoon thing.
yeah, it was nice, it was,
The night off.
it was okay if he had the bar open outside, but if he didn't have the outside bar open, it was kind of boring.
Oh,
Because only the bar inside was open, right? So it would be kind of like just people coming in and sitting down to eat, and you didn't really have much of a,
Right, yeah.
like at night it doesn't take off there until at night, like at supper time, that's when it really starts to take off. But yeah, I had some busy afternoons there. It was hot too a lot of times.
And is that a one-man gig, basically?
Yeah.
One-man show?
Yeah, we had Rick Richardson doing quite a few
Yeah, Rick.
fill-ins.
Well, I know this won't air before tomorrow's show, but I wanted to ask you, I know that you're just getting back to work yourself now.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night. at the
Yeah,
Copa.
tomorrow night, you'll see this next month. But no, it must feel good to be finally rolling for a reason.
It feels good. I'm like you're saying, I mean, I haven't played those tunes in a year and a half.
Mhm.
I've played lots of tunes, but at least I've been playing, but I've been woodshedding on some of these songs, that we play in
Yep.
in Second Heaven, because
That's funny because I know you guys rehearsed here last summer, but I know you haven't rehearsed here at all. So,
yeah.
Well, you guys did do a show here 2 Fridays ago. You guys played a couple tunes here.
Oh, Chris and I.
Yeah.
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 Well,
He
there's
was one of
2
our
songs
guests
that-
actually was Chris.
2 songs of mine that he never really knew, so yeah.
That's but no, other than that, that's the only playing for a while for him, he said. So I'm looking forward to going though. I'm gonna be there.
And you know what, we or speaking for myself, but Chris also, I mean, if you don't want to live dangerously, we know the Hurt So Goods and the Brown Eyed Girls or whatever, we can, I mean, I probably got 30 of those songs myself, and I'm sure Chris does too.
Right.
So any of those, see, when we were rehearsing, we were actually turning over quite a few new songs.
Oh, I remember.
Those are the ones that scare me. 'Cause they weren't that ingrained anyway, and then you put them aside for a year and a half and you're really in trouble.
Oh, I thought you guys really hammered out that Journey song.
Yeah, see, that one scares me.
That
Play it.
was
If
you
he
guys.
calls it, I'll play it.
Yeah.
But it's when you're playing those top 40 songs, you can't. I mean, I'm a good improviser, but you can't play it.
Yeah,
It's
you
like
don't
Santana
improvise. Yeah.
It's you either play that thing
Mhm.
or you ain't playing the song.
Mhm.
So
Right.
Which Journey song you do?
That's my guitar part. No, love will find you.
Oh,
He's not the singer.
separate ways.
Thank you. There you go.
He's not the singer.
Separate ways.
Yeah.
They're from
Chris sings those words.
That'll be a second edit. Well, it's about an hour show.
There you go.
So I will say this, it's been a pleasure having you in the Lion's Den. And, we're going to launch here pretty soon. It's just been used for this recently.
And
but,
next time Martin's gonna come and play us Ghosts, And what was the other song I was gonna play with?
I didn't see the other
While
one.
You Lay Sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now you have to come back because of that guitar problem, right? You didn't bring a guitar, that's the problem. But no, I hope you do come back, and next time you come back, we'll have a picture of you in the squares on the wall coming up the stairs, and I hope you sign it.
Sure.
All the people that come through, all the pictures are being printed and stuff, and
Oh, neat.
you're up with some pretty good people at this point. We've had T-Bone in and Steve Burnside, and so I mean we've had a couple Wall of Famers. So now they can be on a true Wall of Fame right here in Chippewa.
Yeah, Chippewa.
All right.
But anyway, on behalf of Northern Tributes Radio, the Lions Club,
See you next Friday.
see you next Friday. Cut.